or group chatting. If you open the chat window over on the side at the bottom where it says type a message here, right now it says to everyone. But
Right.
if you say click on just Nancy, it would go directly to Nancy. You can't text groups of people. Like you couldn't contact both Shaners or both Bells at the same time. You'd have to reach out to each of them individually. Um,
Okay.
but that's how you do it. But be aware you might need to switch back. It automatically keeps you in that direct communication.
Well, yeah, I thought I had sent it to one person one time and then everybody got it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just that, I didn't mean to send it to everybody. I think that was on a deacon meeting or someplace. I don't know.
Makes sense. It's always entertaining, the Zoom tiny cats. So anything you guys want to dive into before we talk about emojis or?
I want to know where Bill is.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
See what and I'm no expert, but I'll do my best. So I'm going to start with a video that I found online and pieced together. So hopefully it does a little tutorial and then we can dive into oh, did I share my audio? Let me just double check because I'm paranoid. I did not. Look at me. Okay.
An interesting fact, did you know that the very first emoji was used in 1967 in the Reader's Digest, where they used a tongue-in-cheek emoji?
And then from 1982, the smiley face emoji started to become widely used.
Then, in 1999, the Japanese designer, whose name I cannot pronounce, designed and invented the 176 set of emojis that we use today.
Fast forward to 2010, Generation A, Gen A, began, and their perception of how emojis are used is different than any generation that preceded them.
Skull emoji, which was added to the set in 2015, I would use around Halloween, but the Gen A's use it as a symbol of laughter.
So the clown emoji, we might think it's just a clown, but no. Apparently Gen A's use the clown emoji if somebody says something really foolish.
So the smiley face emoji with what looks like a little sweat droplet on the forehead, I would use as if I've told a joke or said something funny but done something wrong, whereas the Gen A's use it for they're stressed but they're fine.
The next one's pretty shocking because I use this one quite a lot of the time, and you think thumbs up, good job. It doesn't mean that to Gen A's. It means it's passive aggressive, that you've botched something and you get a thumb up like you really made a mess of that.
And the hands together emoji I would use as a prayer, and some people would use it as a high five, but the Gen A's use it as a thank you, or they're hoping for something.
The next one is a fire emoji. Is something burning? Well, not quite literally. What this emoji means spans across all generations. It means lit, something's hot, something's sexy.
The eyes emoji I would use as like giving someone a side glance or if something's a bit creepy or strange, but the Gen A's use it as if to say, I'm listening, tell me more. How strange.
So the upside down face emoji to us Gen Xers and maybe millennials usually means sarcasm. But to the Gen A's, it means something completely different. It means they're having a very terrible day. FML, effed my life.
The hourglass emoji I would probably use for time is ticking, whereas the Gen A use it for someone is attractive, like the hourglass figure.
And similarly, the pregnant woman emoji has taken on a completely different meaning. If someone gives you a pregnant woman emoji, it means that the subject matter was so interesting, it made them pregnant. England's finest view. There's actually a queue of people waiting to look at it. Is it?
The slightly smiley face, which I would use as like joy or happiness, is now used like a fake smile or in a situation where they're uncomfortable.
So the shocked emoji, you won't catch Gen A's using the shocked emoji. Instead, they go to the trouble of using this emoji, 2 eyes and a mouth, representing wide open eyes and a shocked mouth.
The next one is the kissy face emoji, where I'd give a kissy face emoji to somebody at the end, like if I was texting Nicholas or something like that. Not the Gen A's, they use it for something like in response. So sounds good to me, that kind of thing. Bonkers.
So the heart emoji, the red one in particular. Now we covered hearts earlier on, but the heart, the red heart for Gen A's doesn't mean I love you. In fact, usually the red heart is paired with the word no, and it means sorry, no.
The emojis used in adolescence come from the collective known as manosphere. The manosphere is a collection of online forums.
So, this section, I'll just warn you, there's a new TV show that's the #1 streaming video on Netflix at the moment. It's called Adolescence. And it's a really intriguing film shot from one lens, but it's all about bullying and cyber texting and things with the 13-year-olds. And they talk quite a bit about emoji use. So this is kind of an explanation on some of the texting in that show that kind of is the more sinister emojis. So that's what they're talking about with this.
Thanks.
So, mind a little bit.
Is a collection of online forums, websites, come from the collective known as manosphere. The manosphere is a collection of online forums, websites and blogs, and it promotes masculinity, misogyny, and is the opposition to feminism.
So the first important one the millennials and certainly Gen A's are using is the red pill, and it's a hark back to the Matrix, but it actually means you've taken the red pill, you see the truth and you believe the science behind the manosphere.
The dynamite emoji is also used and refers to an exploding red pill, which means incel. An incel is involuntary celibate.
If someone believes they're an incel and that they're involuntary celibates, it means being brainwashed by the manosphere to believe the 80-20 rule, which is shown here by the 100 emoji. Now, the 80-20 rule means that 80% of women only fancy 20% of men. And that's what the likes of the manosphere are trying to tell young boys and groom them.
The heart emojis are also used, and this section actually blew my mind because I didn't realise just the exact meanings. Red means love.
Whereas a purple heart emoji means you're feeling horny.
And the yellow heart emoji means I'm interested, are you interested? I need to apologise, Yasmin, from Yasmin's hiking mission. I always give you a yellow heart because your favourite colour is yellow and you wear a lovely yellow hat.
And a pink heart means I'm interested, but I'm not interested in you for sex.
And if you're a part of the collective that is known as the manosphere and you use the kidney bean emoji, that means you're admitting to being incel.
So those emojis are quite shocking and send a shiver down your spine if you're a parent of a Gen A child, because if you see these kind of emojis on their media, on their socials, then it's time to be concerned.
Okay. So
Wow, I'll never use
Whoa.
an emoji. I will never use one again.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
um
First of all, I'd like to be walking where they're walking.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, I know like the thumbs up in Guatemala is a bad sign. And we were there and we met the I was there on a trip and met the soccer team, their national soccer team, and they were having lunch the same place we were, and as we walked by, a couple of people gave them a thumbs up, meaning great, you know. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, do they realize that that the Americans meant something good by that? So that's But yeah, how do you know? Mm,
Yeah.
Don't
that's
you
what this today is about, right?
Well, and this is just a little taste of it, and it's ever adapting and changing like anything.
That's the problem. If you take the time to watch that and look up other things on the internet about what everything means, probably next week they'll change again, and I'd be insulting someone or scaring
Well,
them.
and the person you're sending it to doesn't necessarily know any better than you do. You know, they don't, like if you send a purple heart to someone, they probably just think it's a nice color too, like I
Mhm.
do.
Right. And I think it's different, if what like older generations are texting each other and don't understand this lingo. I think, it's fine for us to communicate still in our kind of more literal version of using emojis because,
don't know the
when
That's what I
emojis
was
started,
just
they
gonna
were very
say.
literal.
We're basically texting people in and around our same age group, so we all have the same understanding of what these things mean. Times we have to be careful as all of a
We
sudden you're
don't.
texting an emoji to someone much younger than you, who
Then,
may take it differently.
Yeah. So yes, if you're interacting with different generations, you just might be aware, or most of you, I think, are out of the workplace at this point, but things like that. Um,
My husband will often be doing some research and he'll want me to see it. And he'll send me an email and he'll add a whole line of emojis, all different. And I asked him, what does that even mean? He said, nothing. It was just something to get your attention, to make sure you look. Okay, so that's him. My son and my daughter-in-law are always texting me. They live close and they have my only two grandchildren. And so they're often sending me these quick little notes and they will send emojis. And I think I've been safe so far because they're kind of limited in what they use. But since they're in their 40s, I don't know. They're not going to be these young, what was that generation they said?
Gen Alpha, which is the
Alpha.
youngest generation at the moment. So, I believe they were anybody born after like 2012 or 13. Um, but I know Gen Z uses a lot of these similarities as well. Um, so so Gen Alpha is, um, where are we? Mid early 2000s or 2010s. So, yeah. Uh, and then beta is anyone after this year, born in this year or after. So, um, we haven't-
Hopefully they're not texting yet.
no.
You never know. They start
Yeah.
young.
But, um,
It seems like almost every text I get, there's at least one emoji and often more. And at first I thought, oh, everybody's using an emoji. And I thought, well, maybe I should too. But if I don't use one, I feel like I'm might be offending somebody by not taking the time to find an appropriate emoji. I'm rethinking that at the moment.
Yeah, like what does a heart that looks like an exclamation point mean? Because I use that a lot. It's
I did
Make
find,
them use it.
some more on the hearts because I was intrigued by that. That was something new to me. Um, and then can I find
and
that?
certainly prayer, we all agree the two hands mean prayer. I hope.
Mhm.
Oh, but a
According
high
to that
five.
video.
Oh, the exclamation heart uh, is used to emphasize a point of showing you love and agree with something that a friend loves in conversation. So you're probably using it correctly. Um, and like some people will use different colors for different, like
Yeah.
holidays and things.
Mhm.
Or like the black and brown hearts to, represent, Black pride and things like that. Um, but
Football team colors, I've
mhm,
used the hearts for that.
I think that's safe to do.
Yeah, it's
Um, but I thought I'd also show you this spreadsheet since they kind of verbally told you and it's hard to process. I thought I'd also show you this
Oh,
periodic
good.
chart of helpful things to be aware of as well. Um, so I can let you look
Whoa.
at it. And
That's
if there's
good.
any you want to dive into more, we can do that. Um, some of them they referred to in their video, but
Wow.
others. Any you're struggling with or have a harder time
That
seeing?
cute little hedgehog apparently means extremism.
Neo-Nazi.
Neo-Nazi, I couldn't read.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Same with the OK symbol. So
Oh,
be
dear.
careful using the OK symbol.
Oh.
I don't think any of the people you're texting will, be in that circle and will think you're saying that, but
Well, they will now that you've revealed it to us.
Yeah, we'll start sending them to each other.
but yes. And there are other ones that people use for penises and orgasms, like rocket ships and things. Pretty much anything you can turn into, anything. Um,
Well, there's one that I have no idea. It's not in there, but I have no idea what it means. And it looks like, I don't know if it's the person's head's being blown off or something like that. It
oh,
looks like
exploding head.
is that what it is?
Let me see it. This one. Let me. Is it this one.
Yes.
I use that one all the time.
Oh,
Like my mind is blown is how I use it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how you use it, Nancy, but
I never have. I finally used the one, I like the little one where the guy's melting. And I
mhm.
just think that means
Mm.
that, I'm melting, but I don't know if that's right, but I finally took a chance and used it and nobody complained, so.
Yeah, and I think some younger generations take it as like I'm embarrassed.
Okay,
Like I'm melting to the floor with embarrassment.
okay,
Um
that's true.
so but I would think using it like that as well, or the way you used it is
Well, I don't know.
there's all
So,
kinds of websites that, I mean, you can just text in emoji meanings and all kinds of things pop up and it describes what each one of them means if you get one and you're not sure what the person was trying to say to you.
mm-hmm.
and then you send the meaning back to them and say, is this what you meant?
And
Well, I've never done that, but
No,
you could.
always appropriate to ask. But it's always intriguing to see
Well,
what
and the
people
thing is, most of them were not even American emojis, right? I mean, they were from like Japan or something else, that there's a lot of stuff in there that, that I know that doesn't mean anything to us. So that leads me to believe that the things that I do know, I'm not surprised that it means something other than what I think.
mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and I think it's a whole different thing if we're talking different countries and
Right.
things like that. It's a whole nother miscommunication. But any specific emojis or things that we haven't covered that you're curious about or questions about or in
What
particular?
about Bitmojis?
Hmm?
I'm sorry, go, someone else talked.
even before today, I've started to back off using them. I think they're just overused. almost feel, some people feel they have to put something in. So maybe I'm safer just,
Cutting them off.
I'm not, just
I
stop
never
using
use
them.
them.
And that's appropriate if you feel that way. Um,
Thank you.
Sometimes I'll just send like an emoji and no response, like the tears of joy one. I don't know if you guys know that one. I use that often. That's a big emoji.
I use a thumbs up for, okay.
Yeah.
Oftentimes as a
Mhm.
reply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I think it's different if you use the check mark like holding down the text and doing it or hearting it. That's a different than the thumbs up emoji.
I think they're like all things technology in that what's true today, forget it tomorrow, or at least it's going to be different, almost guaranteed. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to publish a glossary of them, you better be ready to do frequent updates.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Nancy, did we or
Oh,
talk about you?
I was asking about Bitmoji. Like
Mm-hmm.
that, I had done one and it was like a drawing of what I thought I looked like, and all of a sudden it's been changed that there's no lines in it, and it looks, I I don't know if somebody just got into mine or what, but were you the one that said that that's probably not a safe app? Somebody did.
So I have a Bitmoji as well. For those that don't know it, let me pull it up so that you understand um, what we're talking about.
My daughter started it, and when everybody else went, I decided, well, I guess I better get one too.
They can be fun. My family uses them for holidays. We always text each other,
Yeah,
we try to beat each other, wishing each other happy birthday and stuff. Um, but it's a collection. You can create an
yeah.
avatar of yourself. This is my avatar. Um, and you can search different things. So if I wanted to, wish somebody happy birthday since, Chuck just celebrated his birthday, you could click on this and send it to somebody. You can also add it into your if you hit this little plus button, there's a Bitmoji section and you can search the category within the system that way.
Can
Uh,
you make one of them bigger to see? I want to see if they did the same thing to you. Say, yeah, I guess they did do the same thing, so it must be okay. Um, I got
let's
used to
see.
seeing it with the lines prevalent in my face, and now they're not there, so I look younger.
Um, yes. So, yes, I find sometimes they want you to change things, um, or they reset you,
Yeah,
different things, and you can change your outfits,
yeah,
but I don't tend to do that very often. Um,
yeah. You can certainly get involved, and takes a lot of time that you could better spend someplace else.
exactly, exactly. So yes, if that's something you're interested in and you want to, participate in with your friends and folks, that I'd say doesn't hurt anything.
Okay.
Um,
Is yours Bitmoji? Yeah, this
Mine is
is okay,
Bitmoji.
because I
Uh,
like that one with the prayer hands. I haven't seen that one.
if you search blessed probably
Oh,
or
okay,
pray, um,
okay.
my guess is, yeah, there it is.
Oh, so cool. Okay.
Um, and you can do that with it down here as well. You don't have you have an Android, so yours is different,
Yeah, it's different, but that's
but it
okay.
should be similar. Um, but I did hear at one point that there was some tracking stuff that Bitmoji does, but I don't know enough about it.
Okay.
But it's one of those, I still use it, but some people might not want. I know at least one person I've talked to who stopped using it after they heard that it tracked what you do on it. So,
Hmm.
if that's a concern, I haven't researched it enough to be well educated in that, but
Well, if it's good enough for you, it's certainly good enough for me.
it's one of those, I'm like, I don't care enough. Um, because at this point, everybody's tracking everything. There's nothing
Yeah.
online that's not.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so, and I don't know if you guys talking about emoji stuff, going to emoji,
Ooh.
stuff. I don't know if you've noticed in the people section, wherever we get to the people, um, that you can change the color of
Yes.
the skin.
Yeah.
Um, and I know some people really find it offensive, especially in the, minority communities. If you continue to use the yellow emoji, um,
Really?
they want you to, it's kind of like a white privilege type thing.
Hmm.
Not again, not everybody, the vast majority of people don't care. But some people are fine that you know, um, it the yellow is very similar to like white skin. So they're like, this is another example of, white people just not caring about stuff.
So
So
Lynn, you
yeah,
just clicked on the emoji, the
yes,
picture and the choices came up then.
correct. So yes, if you click on emoji, you can then select the one you want, and then it will default it in the future. Just FYI, while this one popped up, I read somewhere recently when I was doing this that this is also a male sexual act emoji. Um, I forget which one, but there was something sexual regarding this thing. So if you're doing a fist, be careful. Uh,
Wonder what hard of hearing people who use sign language do, because that's a
yeah,
letter. That's
that
easy.
is, yes.
Yeah.
Um, my guess is they type in English and they don't do emojis so much. That would be intriguing to ask somebody in that community. Um, I'll have to ask. But yes, if you go to the person and do it that way as well, you can change the skin color there. So something
Mm.
else.
And hair color too.
Hair color as well. So
Yeah.
And you're doing that on your iPhone. How did you pick up the different colors? Did you right click or something or
I
just,
just held my finger down.
okay,
Does Android have that feature as well?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
okay.
But you got to be careful because you don't get the one you want. I mean, you got to make sure you're still on there while you're moving to the right one, because if you let it off, then you got whatever you accidentally stopped it in the middle of. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And up there on the top of that page, it said search stickers, but we've been talking about emojis. Are they interchangeable terms or?
So search stickers, I'm still in the Bitmoji app, so that's why it says that. If I were in just the regular text message, you would not see that.
Okay.
Um, it would be in that section. Um, And if you hold it here, you can also add the Bitmoji in the keyboard section if that's something you
Oh,
want to hit um, keyboards and then under keyboards, new keyboard, and you can search Bitmoji. And now it should
oh,
appear
I don't
um,
know.
um, under keyboards. Yeah, there it is.
Hmm.
No, I'll have to add.
Would there be a good reason not to do that?
No, it's
Okay,
it's one of those. They might be tracking you again, but
that's what I wondered. Yeah.
it's one of those. Um, yeah, hard- there's always something, right? Um, was there some other question you guys had? Um, and similar to Bitmoji, Apple has Mitmoji, which is a Apple version of Bitmoji. If that's something you want to participate in, there you'd have to set up your Bitmoji, Mitmoji. But it's some similar idea. That would be, let me share again one more time. So Bitmoji is under the sticker here, maybe. I don't want to start importing videos. Maybe. Come on. There, and if you hold down, it's somewhere here. Bitmoji. And you can record your voice saying something instead of just an audio text. You can record your audio and wish people happy birthday or send them audio messages that
Cool.
way.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
But it will capture your talking face. So as I'm talking, you're seeing the face do what
Oh
I'm
my
doing, like
gosh.
raising eyebrows and different things.
How long a recording could you make?
I don't know. I've never done that.
Did you stick out your tongue?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing and scary at the same time.
Well, yeah, I don't know why everything's amazing these days. I mean, everything is, oh,
So yes, if that's something, you want to do from time to time, it's an option for those with Apple devices.
speaking of everything scary, does anybody do Wordle? Any of
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
got another one of these texts from Department of Motor Vehicles that about Easy Pass.
Mhm.
And I know that you've said that we should report that,
Mhm.
but I'm thinking that I probably wouldn't take the time to do it. So
Mhm.
should I just delete and report as spam or junk?
Yeah, that works
I
too.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And
I feel like I
well,
should be responsible and report it, but there's too much going on right now.
yep. It's one of those, if you could spend your entire day reporting these things. And that would be your only life. So,
Okay,
do
that's
what's
sort of
best
what I
for your
thought.
mental health.
Just
While we're
throw
while we're
the phone in the round file.
I just
that
happened
might
to
be
think,
best for mental
Jean,
health.
it came on on your cell phone,
Yeah,
and Easy Pass has never been given your cell phone.
I probably didn't even have a cell phone when we
No.
signed up for that. I hadn't thought of that. Aha.
Well, I was
Oh,
doing a Lynn George in my mind,
proud of you.
realized that they wouldn't have your cell phone.
I got another spam text while we were sitting here, so here's
Ooh.
another one that you can check out. That one's fairly obvious that it's spam, but there's always some.
Well, I've got a meeting I've got to head out to, so I'll sign off, say happy Memorial Day to all of you. I'll see you
Will
next
not
week.
not see you tonight.